Yo, what's up, y'all? As you can see, it's 1:54 a.m. I'm about to take a nap, and I just want to discuss something before the end of that. So I got the Note 9 right now, but I'm recording this on my Note 8. Waiting for a case and a screen protector before I actually fully rock out the Note 9 to the fullest because I'm just, I like to keep my devices pristine so that if any need arises, I could sell them at a good price. So I got the Note 9, and I already knew the reports of what was going on, but I thought like maybe after an update or something came out, they'd fix it. And the new Bixby, it's the new Bixby option, right? The Bixby button can't be turned off in the settings. I've tried everything. I don't know if one of y'all knows how to do that, but I just can't turn it off. And you could see in this article, shout out to Tech2 for writing this article. You can see like they've removed the option, and that's the most douchiest thing that Samsung has done in a minute. Here's the thing. Let me get into a little rant. All right. Here's the thing about Bixby, right? Bixby can do a lot of great stuff. Some stuff better than what Google can do with the Google Now and Google Assistant, and that's like in system commands, like uh, setting, changing settings, and a whole bunch of other stuff, or doing certain things in apps. But the problem is like Bixby can't really understand commands very well. It has a hard time understanding commands, especially in my personal usage, and that makes it frustrating to use, especially when it depends on a system where you need to teach it. And that's all good, and like that's all right, like teaching it. But the thing is, not everybody has that patience, especially when there's already a fleshed out assistant on the device, and that's Google Assistant. And I used to be one of those guys who used to think like reviewers were just hating on and shitting on Bixby, but eventually after using it for myself, I could realize like, yeah, I could see how this could be a problem. It just doesn't work that well, and it's a big thing with Samsung. They release a lot of half-baked ideas and don't focus on getting the basics right before they throw a bunch of features on top of it. And here's the thing. Personally, I don't even, apart from asking some random questions every now and then just joking around, I don't really even use Google Assistant for much except for asking it if it's gonna rain or what the weather is especially when I'm far away from my phone, and I ask it those questions. But I tried the same thing with Bixby, and it just doesn't work. Sometimes, I like the ability it has to unlock the phone with a voice password. I tried it a lot of times; it just didn't work that well. I like how you could give a string of commands or set one command to do a whole bunch of things without having to say everything out, but it just doesn't recognize my voice that well. Meanwhile, like when I use Google Assistant, it's impeccable. It has better voice recognition and everything. So it seems like that's it's just an O when it comes to Bixby. And to take away the option from users to remove like or disable Bixby altogether, that's kind of low. And Samsung kind of always sets themselves up for this bullshit. There are millions of phones out there in the wild right now that are still running S voice. A lot of people have old devices, and Samsung refuses every year after year to support older devices. Not even just with software updates, but like with some sensible updates. You think of all those millions of phones out there that could serve as user data. Millions upon millions could serve as user data for you to better Bixby. If Bixby was on way more devices, by now it would have been way farther along, because like there'd be more corrections. A lot of Android phones out there in the wild are running older software numbers. Like right now, I think the most common one is either Marshmallow or Lollipop. People are still running using phones running KitKat in other parts of the world. Even here in Canada, I've seen a lot of old phones out in the wild. A lot of S3s, a lot of S4s, S5s, and S6s. I've seen more S6s than I've seen S8s. And I've seen more S8s than I've seen maybe S7s. A lot of people like to, you rock out older devices. It's just what they do. Now, for those older devices, if you're not even gonna update them to the latest version of Android, at least update S-Ways and make it into Bixby. Make it usable to more people so you can use all that data to better the device. I mean, better the software. But they're not gonna do that, and they set themselves up with this. I could go and buy a Lollipop device and still use Google Assistant. I could, at least if it has Lollipop, you could use Google Assistant on it. At the very least. I don't know about KitKat per se, but I know you could use Google Now on a KitKat device. I don't know, man. Oh, I want Samsung to win so bad. Like, I want them to win. But at the same time, they keep doing things, making certain decisions that sets themselves up for failure. There's gonna be a lot of backlash from users of the Note 8 I mean the Note 9, because of the inability to disable Bixby, because they have no need for it. Forcing them to use it is just gonna make them hate it more. It's not gonna make them want to use it more. And I think like Samsung can make a smarter decision. Probably find a way. Probably find a way to like make Bixby more usable. And I think for me personally, more user data is probably what they need. They need more user data and samples. And the best way to do that is to get more phones out there in the wild. As much as the Note 9 is a success, people are gonna buy it. Not that many people are gonna switch from their older devices, because like their older devices, if I mean like I used the longest I ever used a device, I think was like maybe 2 years, and that was the Note 4. I bought that phone twice. That phone was amazing. It's to me still my favorite Note. Still my favorite Note of the Note series. The Note 4 was the complete package to me. Unfortunately, it didn't get software updates, and it started getting super laggy. So I had to, apart from that, like just generally the hardware didn't last. I think like devices like that, if they had, Bixby for the sake of having Bixby, devices like that would like benefit a lot from it, especially because it's a newer feature on an older device. People want to try out new things. I don't know. I, all in all, in a nutshell, I've spoken really incoherently and randomly already. So let me just end this by saying Samsung should probably release an update and then allow us to disable Bixby. Yeah, let people who want to use it use it. People who don't want to use it don't have to necessarily use it. And let me bring one last point. I think the whole S Pen update thing is dope. It's a good feature, but given that there's already an extra button on the phone, which is the Bixby button, some of those features, at least some things like opening apps and stuff, could have just been done with remapping the Bixby button, even for a selfie button or some shit. But hey, I don't know. I don't know. This is just a rant. I'm tired as fuck. I just decided to make the video and say some shit, and that's what I have to say. So like, if you like this video, hit like, and if you want to see more like videos like this, hit subscribe and then click the bell, and you get more videos. Peace.